We're still in the business of rounding up cool stuff from 2018, so today we're going to look at some of the best Easter eggs from games released in 2018. There's a lot of good stuff from secrets to references, so let's just get started off with number 10. With a game as big as Assassin's Creed, there's no doubt there's always a ton of Easter eggs. We actually did a whole video about them that you can check out with Odyssey, but one of the more fun ones is definitely the Black Panther Easter egg. On the island of Masara, there's a sync point called Gorton Waterfall, and when you get there, you'll find two dudes fighting in the water on top of the waterfall, and it doesn't take long to realize what it's really referencing. Remember the part in Black Panther when T'Challa has his powers stripped away from him, and he is challenged by M'Baku in a fight for the throne? Well, yeah, that's exactly what it's referencing. Look at the way the whole environment is set up. It's really cool to see the dev team include this in their game, and the animations are really cool because it's not just like two NPCs swinging at each other like idiots. This fight is actually fully animated to be unique, and it's just kind of a lot of fun to come across. The more detail in a game, the better, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey had a lot of it. Next up at number 9, we have the SpiderMan wedding proposal. Oh, you guys probably remember this. I'm sure you've all seen this. It was covered a lot with major outlets. In Insomniac Spider-Man, they actually put in a marriage proposal at the request of a fan. He actually tweeted at Insomniac in May of 2018 saying that he planned on proposing to his girlfriend and that he needed Insomniac's help, asking if they could put "Madison, will you marry me?" somewhere in the game. And Insomniac agreed to help. You could find the proposal written on a theater marquee in the game, but and here's the big twist to this Easter egg. The couple actually broke up after the release of the game. There were some back and forth statements from both of them talking about why they broke up, but either way, it's pretty unfortunate. But nonetheless, it was really cool of Insomniac to even include this in the game at the request of a fan. And moral of the story here is to make sure that you're actually going to marry the person before you go make some grand gesture like this, I guess. But hey, that's a whole nother story. We're not gonna go there. Moving on to number 8, we have a God of War one, which had its fair share of Easter eggs, but as big fans of Marvel, we wanted to talk about this one in particular. The dev team snuck in a really cool Infinity Gauntlet Easter egg that's actually pretty detailed. If you do Sindiri's family business side quest, you'll eventually get a hold of the Shattered Gauntlet of Ages talisman, whose description is an ancient relic of hell deemed too powerful to remain whole. Fragments of its former strength lie scattered throughout the realms. That's obviously totally a reference to Infinity Gauntlet itself. There are also 6 gems that you can hunt down, each one being kind of like a Power Stone counterpart. There's the Asgard Shard of Existence, which is obviously a reference to the Reality Stone. There's Ivaldis' Corrupted Mind, which is supposed to be the Mind Stone, and so on. You get it. Each stone has beneficial perks, but when you start combining them, things get interesting. You can't have all 6 stones combined with the gauntlet. Combining the 3 that you are allowed to, though, gives Kratos the power to shoot a purple beam while in combat. What's really cool about this Easter egg is that it isn't like a little throwaway thing. It takes time to get all the stones, and then after getting them, you actually get something real out of it, something that you can actually use. Man, God of War is so good. Next up at number 7, we have Hitman II. And just like the game before it, there are tons of Easter eggs here. Hitman 2 has some really good ones. There's Agent 47 escaping with a flying umbrella like Mary Poppins, him riding away on dolphins. There are PUBG and Dark Souls references, but there's one that we just found really funny. During the Miami level, after you've unlocked the ability to start in the level in a flamingo costume and you follow the very specific steps, like specifically killing Robert Knox a certain way, you're able to unlock a really funny escape animation. After eliminating your targets and making your way to the helipad to escape via helicopter while still wearing that flamingo suit, there's actually a bird's nest with eggs in it. And after interacting with it, it'll trigger a cutscene where 47 is still wearing the suit and legit flaps his arms and flies away. It's absolutely unreal, and honestly, all of these wacky escapes are gold, but we just like the flamingo one the best. Now at number 6, while State of Decay 2 was kind of a bummer for a lot of fans, it does have a really cool Easter egg, and if you're a movie person, you're gonna be really into this, because State of Decay 2 actually has multiple Mad Max Easter eggs. There are achievements that you can unlock, like Be Still, My Dog of War, which Lord Humongous says in Road Warrior. There's also an achievement called Road Warrior, and then there's Who Runs Bartertown, which is from a scene in Beyond Thunderdome. Then there's a car you can get called the Maximilian, which after being upgraded looks very similar to Max's car, the Interceptor. There's also another upgraded car called the Impaler that looks like something you'd see driving around the wasteland. I don't know, Mad Max is really cool, and I just like to talk about that franchise, and this is a perfect example. If you want to see more, we linked it in the description. Next at number 5, this point is really quick, but still worth mentioning. Far Cry 5's Hope County, Montana is a wacky freaking place, as is the setting of any Far Cry game, really. And while there are a bunch of Easter eggs, we thought the It Easter eggs were some of the cooler ones. As you probably know, there's Stephen King's It, the horror movie / book with the red balloon that's associated with Pennywise the creepy clown. Just off the crop circle found in John's region of Hope County, you'll come across a big sewage pipe with a red balloon attached to it. Seeing that Pennywise hangs out in the sewers and is known for his red balloons, this is like a perfect reference. Then there's a second Easter egg you'll find during the O'Hara's haunted house bit in Faith's region. When you get to the end of that weird haunted house, you'll actually find another red balloon as well as a note that seems to kind of be referencing how Eden's Gate brainwashes people, but one might also say it's very much referencing how Pennywise feeds on his victims. The note also has "it" written in it twice, and both times it's in all caps. Like, if you're a fan of "it," I'm sure you're thinking the same thing if you read that letter. Even the red balloon near the sewage pipe alone is really cool. They killed it with these. Next at number 4, A Way Out was honestly one of our favorite co-op games from 2018. The cheesiness, the bad writing, silly characters, all things that just make it great because of fun gameplay scenarios. And if you know what A Way Out is, then it's safe to assume you're aware of Joseph Fares and his infamous Video Game Awards appearance that was a meme. In 2017, Jeff Keighley brought Joseph on stage with him to promote A Way Out and show off some new gameplay, and the dude kind of went off for a while, but the bit definitely got a little out of control when Joseph went on saying Oscars. It was live on camera and people loved it. Then A Way Out released, and there's actually an Easter egg that references Joseph's Video Game Awards appearance. In the hospital section of the game, you can come across a dude looking for a beer in a vending machine, and when you talk to him, he ends the conversation by saying, Oscars. Isn't that cute? Now at number 3, kind of totally forgot about this, but Metal Gear Survive came out in 2018. Remember that? Well, I'm sure some of you are familiar with Konami and the Kojima drama that happened around the release of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, and I guess there are still devs over at Konami who are still pretty salty about it. In Metal Gear Survive, one of the devs snuck in a cool little Easter egg. In the beginning of the game, when you're looking at the list of all the Mother Base soldiers, the first letter of each last name spells out KJP Forever. KJP obviously stands for Kojima Productions. This was really cool to see, and when I did see it, I let out an audible, "Oh, someone's in trouble." You know Konami was probably pissed if they caught that, seeing how shitty they were about this whole thing. Or maybe on the flip side, maybe they were trying to actually pay respect. Either way, this is cool, and we love Hideo Kojima. Now at number 2, I think we can all agree that Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy game is probably one of the stranger games out there. If you aren't aware, it's like this weird platformer where you play as like a naked man who's stuck in a pot and he climbs a mountain with a hammer. I don't know, it's weird, but people did really like it and had a lot of fun with it, and I guess the people over at Avalanche really liked it too because there's a really cool Getting Over It Easter egg in Just Cause 4. Just north near Hansasha at the top of a mountain, you can find a cauldron and a pickaxe just chilling, and when you interact with it, Rico jumps into it, the camera changes, and now all of a sudden you're playing a Getting Over It clone with the voiceover and the whole 9 yards. Just Cause is crazy, but this really tops it for us. I mean, look at this. Cauldron Rico is hilarious and stupid, and it's awesome. If you've never played Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy too, you should, because it's fun. But finally, at number 1, we have the Red Dead Redemption 2 UFO. Now, Rockstar always has had a thing for aliens and Bigfoots and other things that most people would just say aren't real, but they're totally real. The UFO in Red Dead 2 is actually the coolest UFO Easter egg we here at gameranx have seen in a while. In the eastern region of New Hanover, you can stumble upon this creepy old church, and when you go inside, you find dead cult members, and how they're laid out is eerily reminiscent of the Heaven's Gate cult from the 90s. You'll find the cult leader and his diary that gives you the instructions on how to meet these otherworldly beings, and if you follow the directions and go back to the church at night, there is a UFO. It pops up when you actually walk into the church, and the entire area turns green, and when you look up, you can see the UFO. It's actually a really cool scene that they seemingly put a lot of work into, and it was just really cool to come across for the first time as a complete surprise. We love Easter eggs, we love weird surprises and secrets, and these were our favorite ones from 2018. However, there were so many more. We've covered them in so many videos over the year. So now we want to hear from you guys what your favorite Easter eggs, secrets, and references were from 2018. If you got any examples for us, be sure to let us know. We want to hear from you. But if you learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. And if you're new, you should consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.